Hello, this is going to be one of my final videos here in Sweden. Yep, at least for this year. So I just thought I would make this in a nice backdrop to talk about some of the things that I've learnt in Sweden. It's a lot of quirky things, a lot of serious things, good and bad. It's a nice unbiased view, but regardless, it's been great. So, we'll get straight on with it, shall we? Number one. Lunchtime for trains and buses. I've spoken about this in some of my vlogs, but between the hours of, say, 11 and 1, there are no buses or trains running, at least where I am. It makes it a bit of a pain to get anywhere because I am towards the end of the line, and that means that trains don't run from anywhere between 10 and 2 sometimes, which is a bit of a pain. Staying on trains, Pendeltåg guards against the Stockholm main line guards going into Stockholm. When I bought my SL card, which is what you need to get around here, it's like an Oyster card for those in England, I was told that between where I am and Södertälje, which is the next big city, they'll check for your card, but they don't really mind if you don't have it, you can bring it next time. But between Södertälje and Stockholm, the main line, there are different sorts of guards, much more proper, if you will, and they're very strict, and they won't take no for an answer, 9 times out of 10. So we got the card, obviously, and you bring it every time you go to Stockholm. But I think all the time I've been here, 75 days now, I haven't been checked a single time while I've been in Sweden. Not on that line anyway. Checked almost every time going up to Södertälje, which is the least important. It's a bit odd that. I think it's probably more of a fear thing, although for anyone coming to Sweden, don't forget your SL card, because if they do catch you, you will be fined. They don't let you go. On platforms, they don't slow down, not one bit. Next, Trosa means panties in Swedish, and it's also a place where my friend Jacob lives. They have, Swedes have a lot of different naming conventions like that. They mean odd things, very odd things, but it's also a place. Very odd. Pantamera, fun and expensive. Pantamera is when they add a small amount of money onto the price of bottles or cans. Something like 2 krona or 1 krona. You get that money back when you go in and pawn it in. That's what Pantamera means, pawn more. The reason I say fun is they've got a cool little advert, which you can find if you search for the Pantamera advert. But expensive because it's quite a lot of money. It all adds up anyway, at least the amount that we drink. There are Pantamera vultures in Sweden. They travel the train lines, and they're people that are looking for bottles. Now I don't mind people that go looking for them specifically, but these vultures, they will stop and stare at you if you're drinking, and they will wait, or at least try and wait, until you're done so they can take the bottle, which I don't agree with, and that's why me and Terry, who I live with, call them the vultures, and they're not very nice people. Well, they don't seem to be anyway. Alcohol here in Sweden, very expensive. Very, very expensive. It seems to me while I've been here that the staple Swedish diet is bacon and pasta. Although I'm sure people will disagree and say something along the lines of meatballs and things like that. But that's mostly what I've been eating. I probably will still be eating it. I've got a taste for it now. Flying Jacob? Don't eat it. Ugh. Or you can eat it if you want to try it, but don't say I didn't warn you. Moose meat tastes like dry, minced beef, but it is rather nice. If you can ever get a chance to try it, try it. The best candy to find in Sweden, I would say, is either Tutti Fruttis, if you like gummy things, or Marabou chocolate, which is like dairy milk in England. The worst type of candy would be Polly. It's small Malteser-sized chocolates with it's like a soft yet hard centre with this horrible, horrible taste inside. Some people like them. I personally think they're disgusting. In Sweden, if you want to do anything important, I say important, but that could even range up to getting a gym membership. Their system that's in place requires you to have an ID card, which is what all Swedes get, all Swedish citizens get. When I signed up, there was a big mess about what should we put down for an ID card, will they let me in? And I can imagine for more important things that's the same thing. So it's a bit of a mess if you want to do anything and you don't have an ID card. Speedboats, rock. Steamboats, rock. Just travelling through the countryside, you'll notice that it's huge. There's rolling hills, forests, lakes, just everywhere. It's incredible, really. The forests here in Sweden, incredible. They're just open and just wild, really. There's paths, but it's just so open and you can go anywhere. And they're everywhere. Yeah, they're brilliant. And the lakes, like the one that's in front of me right now. Freezing, but actually very relaxing. And I've never swam in a lake before, so it makes a change. And back on lakes, Lake Mälaren is the greatest lake in the world, purely because Birka is on that lake, and that's where the steamboat goes, which if you've been watching my vlogs, I've been there a few times now. Birka was the capital of a Viking king in Sweden in the 700 to 900, around about them. Every time I've gone there I've learnt a little bit more, such as Norse mythology is the greatest mythology. I won't hear a word against it. Vikings didn't have horns on their head, contrary to popular belief, and they also had combs. Combs were very important to them, so I can only presume that they were very well groomed. Swedish people seem to love Ibrahimovic, the footballer. You see him everywhere, all over the papers, all over the news. I don't think much of him personally. Adverts on television are few and they repeat very often, which can get annoying, but generally not. Generally they're quite fun as well, so it makes up for it. There is no censorship in TV or songs, so all these gangster rap songs that you get on television or on the radio, oh, you'll hear everything, unlike in England where they will bleep out every single thing that could be taken as offence. It's quite refreshing, really. It's nice. Gordon Ramsay is always on Swedish television. Near enough every channel I flick to, there's always a Gordon Ramsay show on. Is there something about that, Swedes? I don't know. Swedish people are, I've found them to be very private amongst strangers. They keep themselves to themselves. But if you approach them, they are generally quite polite and very helpful. Everyone is actually blonde here in Sweden, believe it or not. Okay, maybe not everyone, but a very large proportion of everyone. In Sweden, no one seems to enjoy the fact that you're wearing a Swedish football shirt. Yep. They'll find this weird and strange, and they'll look at you weird, which seems odd and ironic and hypocritical, because they all wave the Swedish flag loud and proud above their houses. But that's just what I've been getting back. The postal service in Sweden, very good, very fast compared with England at least. They're privatised though, so any parcels that you get that obviously can't be delivered will not go to a depot, for instance. They'll be sent to a supermarket near you, and you need to go to the supermarket to go and pick up your post, which was odd to me at first, but it's better than nothing, and it kind of makes sense. The supermarket will generally be nearer to you than some depot in the general region, so it's quite good. Thunderstorms here in Sweden are huge. I've never known thunderstorms like it in England, maybe because I live in a suburb, I don't know. But they seem to shake the walls that are around you and the windows. Very cool, very, very cool. And the nights in Sweden as well. Clear as day, that may well be because I am not in a suburb here and I'm in the middle of nowhere. I will remember that this was the place where I saw a meteor shower perfectly, absolutely perfectly. Just a few weeks ago it was brilliant, really brilliant. Stockholm, Gamla Stan, or Old Town, brilliant place, full of bookstores, gift stores, chocolate stores, and it's just really old and rustic. It's like old York City in England. It's a really nice place to live. And they also have a Viking tavern there, which is you go down into a cavern, and it's like you see from all the fantasy movies and things like that. And they sell mead there, and it's delicious. You should come and try some. While I've been here, I've found that 13 kilometres isn't actually a very long way to walk. It takes about an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes. However, when you want to go to the nearest supermarket, 13 kilometres is quite sufficient. In the summer, there are stinging flies in Sweden. That's right, not only just flies that are annoying, but they sting as well for no bloody reason. Terrifying and evil. Jackdaws are a very common bird here, and they are like the pigeons of England. But they're brilliant, they're better. There are bed bugs in Sweden. I had one the other night, and one the first week I got here. Apparently, if there's quite a lot of them, you either need to boil all your clothes or get an exterminator around, which is fun. And I'm disappointed I never got to see a moose in Sweden. The last thing that I want to say about Sweden is the YouTube community. A YouTuber in Sweden called Prinsword, you may know his other channel, The Swedish Lad, got in touch with me literally within days that I'd started vlogging, which was a brilliant surprise, really, and invited me to a YouTube meetup. There I met a lot of Swedish YouTubers, which I've since subscribed to, and it's just a really good community. I'm really pleased that I've found it, because it feels like you're part of something. However little compared to the United States or something along those lines, but it's really good, actually. It's probably one of the reasons why I kept vlogging, really. There were people that were interested, not just the Swedish YouTube community, but everyone who has subscribed. You have kept me vlogging. It's made this Sweden experience that much better, and it means that I can sit at home in a few months and look back and reminisce. It's been really good. So that's my things that I've noticed about Sweden, things I dislike, things I like, but everything put together, it's been brilliant. I will definitely be coming back at some point. So thanks for having me, Sweden. I hope you've and I hope anyone that's considering coming to Sweden or that lives in Sweden has picked up something from this video, maybe something they didn't know, or maybe something that they already know, and it's nice to hear that someone else has noticed it too. Okay, that's a wrap. There's a little spider on my camera. Get off.